Welcome back, Screamers, to another episode of Scream Kings. I'm TaMon Kang, hanging out with my fellow Kings here. How's it going, fellas? Oh, no. No.
Good evening. I am great. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a sort of lazy kickback Sunday, so I'm just here sipping on my little cocktail with you guys.
Yes.
And as everyone knows, this is our Pretty Little Summer where we are breaking down each episode of season 2 of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. This one's called Summer School. As you know, we always have a fun drinking game, and tonight's drinking game is the word rose. It's rose. So every time you hear us say rose, pick up your cups and take a sip. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers. I have tea tonight, so
That's great.
that's what I will be drinking.
Those allergies still kicking your ass?
No, I feel better.
Yes, that's what we
But I'm in the mood for tea because I was drinking a little bit yesterday. So I'm like, yeah.
Hashtag recovery.
Mm-hmm.
What are we screaming about before we get into everything?
What am I screaming about?
I'm trying to think what the hell I watched.
Yeah. Within a week.
Or what? I'm not screaming about Interview with the Vampire until they give me something good.
I just watched it like 20 minutes ago.
Got any better?
Oh, so see, I didn't watch the one from today yet. So,
yeah.
I take it they're still messing
all
around
backstory and context, and that's what I guess all these shows are trying to do that this season. But that's all we're getting from the show. But it was good writing and good dialogue. But that's what we've always gotten from Interview with the Vampire. But there's no forward movement in what's happening, if that makes sense. A little bit. Because I guess we're waiting on that part that we got to from the movie with Claudia and her and all that type of stuff. That's what I'm waiting on to happen. I think we're inching slowly towards that, for lack of better words.
I still gotta watch episode 2, but I'm in no rush since you guys are like.
I think you could binge the whole season. Honestly, I mean it's not bad. I'm not enjoying my time. It's just that. Either I'm just exhausted and I don't have anything that's bringing me joy from horror anymore, or this slow walk is actually too slow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ricky. Strangers. We all seen Strangers Chapter 1?
I'm in no rush, but feel free to go on.
I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay, maybe screaming isn't the right word to use.
Whispering about
I would just like to say I don't think it's nearly as bad as everyone is making it out to be. I just think just like Exorcist Believer, just like Madam Web, it's a decent, fine movie. It's just not spectacular, and people are dragging it through the mud because of that.
I don't have a comment because I haven't seen it, but there are bad movies. And
there are such things as bad movies.
Bad? Sure.
The Strangers was... did we talk about this next week?
I felt like we discussed this.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody saw it.
Well, my opinion still stays the same, and I just feel like it wasn't needed. It should have went straight to streaming.
Yeah.
And Final Girl was cool. I liked her. But other than that, I was more frustrated than anything. Yeah, it's not a terrible movie. I did say that too, but it's like I could have done without it. You know, I wasn't hype about it, you know.
Yeah. I think my expectation just in general is lower these days, and I don't really know why. It could be fatigue. I'm whispering about I Know What You Did Last Summer. They did the last time we were here, we did find out that it was going to be released in 2025. And Jennifer Love Hewitt had an interview saying that she's excited, she's going to be kicking butt. And she also let it spill that Michael. She also let it spill that she didn't let Julie James die at 18, and she's not going to be dying at whatever age she is now. So Jennifer Love Hewitt is known for having a no kill clause in her contract, like Neve Campbell, and here we are.
I'm okay. I think the only reason why I'm okay with that a little bit is because it's been a huge gap since we got I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. Like the last time we seen her was 98, 99, and a horror movie. Well, that type of horror movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we don't even know how many more movies we're going to get after this. So I'm okay. Whereas though Sydney, we have her 1, 2, 3. We had her pretty much on all of them except for that last one. So it's a little bit more frustrating because it's like every time we know we're getting a Scream movie, it's just like, all right, girl, we know you're not going to die. But with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julie's character, we only have her in 2 movies, and I don't even know how many more movies we're going to get. So I'm okay with it for now. And this is an opportunity to see what we can, we get a chance to see what older Julie James is like, because we've seen her in her teens
and early 20s, maybe.
Yeah, that was it. And now she's probably in her 40s. So yeah, we get to, see that side, and I'm excited for that.
I'm not a fan of these clauses, or at least knowing about them, because that completely takes me out of it. So now I know when she's in the scene, I'm like, this bitch is fine. She's fine. Yeah. I don't need to worry about it. Everybody else around her, I don't know. But with her, but I do like Julie James, so I guess I don't care that much. But I just don't like knowing that characters ahead of time are not going to die. It just takes me out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I echo that. It's like it's better to assume it 100% versus knowing 100%.
Did she say out her mouth?
Yeah.
She's
like, her exact words, and I watched it. Her exact words were, "I didn't let her die at 18. I'm not going to let her die now."
But you know what? What I will say, I think we've had enough final girls over the past 20 or so years that whoever's doing it, I don't even know who's doing this, directing and writing this, but hopefully she's taking notice and been like, no, you need to make my character a badass in this movie and not what people have been complaining about, calling her boring, even though her and Sydney are the same person. Yeah, hopefully they step it up in that department so people are screaming Julie James from the rafters after the first movie.
I think she said that too. She also, if I had the clip, we could play it, but okay. She mentioned that she's gonna be kicking butt, her and her stunt double, and all of that stuff. So I don't remember her being a fighter like that. I remember her cutting someone with a paring knife, getting drugged and she got punched in the stomach. That's what I remember. But I don't remember her being so much of a fighter. But it will be nice to see her reinvigorated and excited. And having kids brings a lot of energy into an actress and being a mother. So she probably has more fight this time around. I don't know. There's very little details outside of what the writer herself, who was a huge fan of the book and the movies, and unfortunately, no, this is good. She understands it.
Yeah.
Steer away from the show, child. Steer away from the show,
please. Because
Julie, one thing I would say about her, like her and Sydney, is pretty much
Langston.
the same. But what I will say is that with Julie, I don't know. She gives me like more, like, because in the second movie she was just going. She was ready to go. She was ready to go after the killer. Yeah. Like she wasn't playing. Like she was enough of this shit. Where it took Sydney how many movies to get to that level where she was like, I had enough.
I mean, I'd say 3, maybe end of 2, but 3, yeah.
And Julie James was there at 2.
I would say 3 in the sense.
What are you waiting for?
In 3 in the sense that like she was actively being like lured there, and she was like, okay, I'm just gonna head into the situation. 2, she just kind of got thrown into the situation. She had to get out of it. But 3, I think, is by the end is when she really was like fed up and like, I need to end this.
Yeah, I agree with that. And moving on to 4 and 5, she's just like, I'm here to fight every time I see somebody in a Ghostface mask. And I'm also screaming about actual news for Scream that was released that This is the beginning of a new trilogy.
A new trilogy?
It's the beginning of a new trilogy.
Hi, y'all. I'm done.
And everyone has this. Oh, I forgot I have a lot of stuff to say. Yeah, excuse me. This is the beginning of a new trilogy, and I'm also excited.
So we're starting over. This is like, so 7 is going to be the beginning of this new trilogy.
Wait. New trilogy with the legacy characters in the movie?
I guess it's just like Blumhouse trilogy for Halloween. They're bringing back the originals to sort of do something. I don't know. What I do know is that this is the beginning of a new trilogy. There is a time jump involved.
The kids.
Yes, and the idea of Ghostface and the Sydney's kids being the new leads are so exhausting and cliche to me, and I despise it. Hopefully, after this new trilogy, they will just branch off into new people, new stories. We also found out that we have Scream. Oh, that was a lot to process, but go ahead and comment on that, y'all. I have other stuff.
Hang it up after this trilogy. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. I don't want to see these people no more.
Hang it up after 7. I'm done. Like, just, guys.
The fact that it's not even going to end on 10 and 9 for a trilogy is really irritating me for some reason.
Yes, exactly.
At least they could have had a whole promo around number 10 or something. But
I mean, 2 trilogies in, right? So we have 4, 5, 6, even though they're not technically trilogies, right?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4 is a standalone. 5 and 6 are standalone. 7, 8, 9. Okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
I would even consider 4, 5, and 6 a trilogy only because you have Judy and what's her name, Kirby in it, and they connect the 3 movies.
That's true. There's no central protagonist spread across the 3, but that's fine.
No,
I'll take it too. Yeah, that. And then we also find out that Scream will be branching off from not just the trilogy, but it's going to have spin-offs and it's going to have TV shows. So they're trying to expand this entire universe. I think that concept really works when you have not a masked killer, but you have someone like what is his name from It? Pennywise, and maybe
Tim Curry.
Or maybe something where the backstory will be so compelling that you may want to dispel some of that lore. But Ghostface is different because it's just a masked person. It's like, do we want to watch Scooby-Doo? Because that's what Scooby-Doo was, the killer over the course of 1 episode. Do we want to see Kirby doing that for 6 to 10 episodes?
No. It's going to be like How I Met Your Mother. They're going to have to drag it out for I don't know how many seasons, if they're going to stick with the same killers and they just don't know who it is until the last season, or they're going to switch it up each season. I personally think it'll be fine. People will watch it, but I think y'all waited a little too long to do the series, even though they have a series already. But
that's one of the options that they can reboot from season 2, which I'm not opposed to that because I actually like those characters. There was another people have been throwing around stuff. The one thing I heard was a show called The Prescotts. Okay, hear me out. Y'all ready? We in the writers' room. I could potentially pitch a story. Amen.
Alex.
Okay, so Alex, you came in right on time. We're talking about The Prescotts. Potentially a spin-off TV show for the Scream universe. So I could pitch a story, right, set in the late 80s, early 90s around Maureen and Neil, and you find out that actually Maureen and Hank Loomis actually have a really strong relationship. They actually love each other, but they can't be together. You find out other secrets that's going on in the town. Nancy Loomis, which is Jackie from Roseanne, her and Maureen are actually good girlfriends. So that makes her leaving the town and so upset about the affair so much more impactful. We meet other families that we've seen in the past, like the Cotton Weary's family, the Mockers. It'd be cool to see some faces and names put to them. But what this does, it allows us to set up for the future. Not so much worried about the TV show, but more so in Scream 10, you have this family that we never heard of versus it was planted in a TV show that's in the same universe. And so now all homes can be brought up on the film that will make the film was more refreshing and not so much about Sydney. And that's how you can pull away from Sydney. It's not so much. It's not about that family. It's just about the things centering around that family. And you meet little Billy, who has a crush on his next door neighbor, Christina Carpenter, the Carpenter sister. So just little things like that you can do to sort of expand the universe versus hoppering on Sydney, which honestly I'm tired of too.
Mm-hmm. I have to say I approve. I'm surprised.
Okay. Well, I'm made for this for screen. So that's what I could pitch. That was my idea. I don't know if that will happen, but I could see that being something that if we want to propel the franchise and push it forward outside of Sydney, Gail, anybody to do with that original 3, that's how you do it. And you create different characters. What was their name? Go down the street and call them Mackenzies. That's another family. Stephen Orth's family from, Casey's boyfriend. All those different families that have been impacted throughout the years. Let's see who they were before that. Maybe this neighborhood is like Elm Street's neighbor. Those parents are awful. So imagine Desperate Housewives meets something else. I don't know, but that's my pitch.
I like it. It needs a new name, but I like it.
Oh God, it definitely needs. When I said the press cuts, I felt you over here. Okay.
That's what
I just know Scream 16 is gonna be when it gets good again and pops off. I hope so.
Oh God.
We'll be like 50 going on 60 by the time that shit happens.
I think I know what this is about. Y'all just want to be the only franchise that doesn't have any cockamamie random throwaway movies. I already see where this is going.
No cults kidnapping Sydney's daughters to brainwash her.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually.
Alex, we're talking about what we're screaming about. What do you think about the whole Scream of it all? We got that fake ass cast that was released this week.
I mean,
you didn't see it?
It's a really good pivot, like honestly, because what Spyglass did. Honestly, it seems to me a little bit more exciting now that they kind of got it back on track. And I feel like if they are paying Neve Campbell what she's owed and what she deserves, then I feel a little bit better about approaching it and watching it, honestly. As long as she's happy about, how she's being treated, and I'm happy to see it. And then with Kevin Williamson being involved, definitely. So I feel like it's kind of taking shape. I'm excited for whatever little details that I come across. I'm really actually looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I hope it's really good though. But
right. What's up, James?
Hey,
James.
Are you okay with Sydney leading a new trilogy?
Yeah. I mean, why not? She's already done it. I think the thing is we're supposed to be getting I think some type of babysitter character. They're gonna always have a new, fresh group of teenagers and young adults in there anyway. They always have an eye for new, young, up and coming talent. So there's gonna be new faces that could, push things forward without Gail and without Sydney anyway. So we're probably gonna get some type of successor to this whole thing, someone else that's going to, be captured or be involved in the plot in some way, shape, or form. Someone that's also, being targeted as well, but young and new and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit of the previous, Scream Queens, and we might get a new Scream Queen. I'm really sure.
Jennifer Lopez. Throw her in the mix.
I mean, she probably would have been Mrs. Carpenter if Melissa didn't get fired.
Wow.
That doesn't mean Mrs. Carpenter can't be in it.
I mean, very true, because I'm sick of you, Sydney. So the time jump, y'all, they're saying, I'm thinking 4 to 5 years, which is normal for Scream. But some people said they specifically mentioned the time jump, so they're thinking 10 years. There's no way 60-year-old Gail and 50-year-old Sydney is going to be in this movie.
I mean, Lori is... I mean, you have Lori.
See it.
Wow. It's going to turn into a Michael Bay movie. They're going to have rocket launchers and shit going after Ghostface.
Ghostface gonna be this giant ass robot. He's gonna be like in this fucking Megazord or some shit.
Not Yale, the one in Professor X bodysuit that he had on in the first.
This will be the Stab 8 that they were talking about.
With time travel.
Yeah, I don't want to see J-Lo in any of Scream movies.
I think it's a wrap. Okay. But again, thank David Gordon Green for making trilogies popular again. That's all I got to say.
Yikes. And everything else. We can scream about that too. He is now acquired the rights to
Perfect.
The Mine, Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super not excited. I'm only not excited because it's them.
Like, leave that alone. Like, leave it alone. The 3D one was fine. Like, we don't need to see anything else. Like, they're just bored over there in Blumhouse.
I told Bobby this week they must have all the coin just to be IPs and just doing what they want to do.
Focus on, like, if they really want to like bring other stuff to life that wasn't getting much credit, like bring back like an April Fool's Day, bring back, you know, like do like those type of films so people might not know about them. They might want to go back and watch the original. Like,
there's definitely an April Fool's Day remake out there for sure. Scout Taylor.
You're right. She is in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
you're right.
Definitely remade that. Like,
I forgot about that.
I'm just wanting more original stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of lazy at this point, man. It's been lazy since like the 2000s of just constantly remaking and reimagining things and rebooting and retreading all this information, like all this stuff. It just, there's a lot of young up and coming, you know, screenwriters out there that would love to have an opportunity to take something new and have a fresh take on something and have it be seen by people, and makeup effect artists that will love an opportunity to do something cool. But, you know, it's just safer to have a familiar IP because everybody's already seen it. Everyone already knows about it. And then, you know, you saw it back in the day. So then you have kids or you have grandkids or whatever, and you want to show them. So it brings more money into the whole thing. So it's just milking the cash.
That's all it is. Yep.
Yeah. I'm just, you know, just saying, you know, it would be cool to see a little bit more chances.
Originality.
Chances. Take some chances on some folks. Like, take some chances on certain scripts that, you know, that's new and different and original, and it's not familiar IP. Like, you know.
Yeah, make the Black Phone 2 great. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
It's coming. It's already. I think it just finished filming, but hopefully it's great. Mike said, "I miss early 2000s original idea Blumhouse like Conjuring. No more remakes, Blumhouse." Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. And it's maybe that's I'm just exhausted.
Whatever happened to? I remember, was it last year? They said they were redoing Return of the Living Dead or something. Remember that news? Like, I seen it on Bloody Disgusting that not Blumhouse was doing it, but like just in general, they said they were going to like reboot that, and I found that very interesting.
Did you guys like Tom Savini's version?
You saw what?
Did you like Tom Savini's version? The 1990s?
Oh, that's Night of the Living Dead. I said Return of the Living Dead.
Wait, Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, they're supposed to be rebooting that.
Oh, okay, my fault. Okay, wow.
Yeah. But I do like Tom Savini's version of Night of the Living Dead. I find that one a lot more entertaining than the OG. Love the OG, but
that was a good one.
I agree with you. Wow. Per Bloody Disgusting, back in July of 2023, they said the reboot of Return of the Living Dead will expand the existing world created by the original five, while staying true to the R-rated sci-fi horror, dark comedy roots adored by fans of the cult classic around the world from the last 35 years. So it is happening. There isn't an update on it, but it's happening.
Continue. Like, I would be fine with that. Zombies. So.
And then Urban Legends, I think, got chopped. I think their reboot.
Yes, I was upset about that. If I was to bring back Urban Legend, I always talked about this. I know we got to talk about Pretty Little Liars, but I get excited because I like Urban Legend. This is one of my favorites. Instead of them like rebooting it, they should do like a kind of like a prequel or something, because in the first movie they talked about the Stanley Hall massacre with Robert Englund being a part of that, and they can be focusing on that, and then it could somehow transition into the 1999 or 98 version of Urban Legend. So maybe we can get the whole movie based off of Stanley Hall that happened there. I would enjoy that.
So you pitching a trilogy, past, present, and future.
Yes.
I hear you. No tea on the new one. So I was just looking, trying to dig it up, but they were supposed to be remade. They had a cast in line. I would love to see how long Reese was working there or around there. Was she a student back then? In the future, is she still there? Maybe a house around the campus? You know, that one character they go to get knowledge from and they interview.
Oh, yeah.
Don't kill her or whatever, but like she could be that character for her little cameo.
Mm-hmm. I can see it.
Alex, are you screaming about anything in horror?
Not so much, not really, not right now. I think I saw Cobweb, even though that was last year, but Cobweb I just recently saw, and I don't know, I kind of enjoyed that a little. I enjoyed
Cobweb
that.
was fun.
Yeah, Cobweb was
different.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun with that. I saw Night Swim recently.
Another decent movie.
Oh, girl. Okay.
I didn't like the visuals of the villain or whatever, but I thought I liked the idea behind it at least. The acting was not that bad.
Mike waits for everybody to say they hate a movie. He's like, you know what? I'm
no,
gonna go watch it.
I went to the theater to see Night Swim. I went to the theater to see that movie.
God bless your heart.
Yeah. I was like, there's not a lot of pool movies I've seen, so I was like, this is different. And I will give it a 6 out of 10.
Ooh.
Oh, I wouldn't. I don't know if I could trust your ranking.
Yeah.
It's a 6 out of 10.
What did you give Believer? 8 out of 10?
No. I would give, I don't remember, but it was probably a 7.
Oh my
out of 10. Y'all are wild. That movie is not that damn bad.
Okay, sure.
Yes, I paid for it, Lex. I paid and I went to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was entertained.
Okay. I'll just go back and watch that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark with the Pool Monster. That was more entertaining than that movie.
That's the little scene in Poltergeist when Diane was in the water.
Oh, yes.
Entertaining the entire movie. So, there's that. On that note, we're going to go to a quick commercial. And then
thank you, Mike.
And when we come back, we will be jumping into Pretty Little Liars.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday.
Word again, Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers. So let's dive right into chapter 14, When a Stranger Calls. I was already excited for this episode just based off the title alone. I have a secret, very love-hate relationship with those two movies, When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back. So I was excited to see how this was going to play out. And I have to say, but I want to let you guys go ahead. Alex, you've seen it. How do you feel about this most recent episode?
It feels a little like filler for me. Not too much stakes. Like the stakes aren't really too high. I mean, there was that moment where she had that almost like jigsaw trap that she had to do, where she had to hold that block for like 2 hours, and then I'm wondering, okay, you're going to reveal yourself at some point anyway, so you're waiting for her to do this for 2 hours. That's interesting.
Because Rose is a weak bitch. She knew what she was doing. I said this to TaMon. She wanted to weaken Farron because she knew Farron was going to whoop her ass 1-on-1. So what she did is she made her hold that up for 2 hours, and she knew that she was going to be tired. And then that's when her ass popped out that little tent or whatever.
Got you.
She knew what she was doing. Right.
That makes sense. Yeah. It was okay. I hope the next episode is a little bit more interesting, because I really enjoyed the birthday surprise party, and she went to a different place and the killer was there. Like, I love that suspense and, like, a little bit of a chase scene and things like that. So I was kind of feeling that, and I was waiting for something else to happen. So I felt like this one kind of slowed the momentum down a little bit, and then maybe the next episode, I think will be episode 15, episode 5 or whatever. So like that would be a little bit more, because we only have like 8 episodes this season, right? Mm-hmm. So
yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for something big and a little bit major to happen. I'm always constantly waiting for something big to happen. So nothing too crazy happened in this particular episode. So I'm just, it's kind of mellow. I'm just mellow on it. That's just me.
I want this show to be absolutely amazing, and I want each episode to deliver a punch and offer something like season 1 did. And I can't think of that many filler episodes from season 1. I think the problem is with this show for me is that in season 1 we understood the original sin, and we understood Angela Waters' mystery, and we had this understanding going into getting to know all these different characters. In this season, the hard work is done. We know the characters, and you're expanding on their character growth, but we don't really know what's going on with the villain. And I guess we're supposed to be uncovering that with the characters, but it's making this season feel really boring, if I want to be completely transparent, because I don't really know about Bloody Rose. Anytime she comes up, my last thought is like, okay, she just did another saw trick for Farron, and she survived, of course. Okay, what is the season actually about? And I don't think it's supernatural. I don't think they have the balls to switch it so quickly to that. I think they're just attacking different subgenres of horror per the season. But this season it's slow walking it, and I'm not connected to Bloody Rose at all. That was a lot, but that's how I feel.
I feel that. Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah. For me, I said the same thing last week. Season 1 is still better for me. Even though I did enjoy things about this episode, particularly Farron's part in the show. What episode? I wanted it to be longer, a little, because I was like rooting for her, obviously, I was like, yeah, she did it. She's a badass. But I just wanted the fight scene to be a little bit more, just give me something a little bit more. But the rest of the episode, besides them dropping some cool songs that I'm familiar with, that I loved.
Go ahead and say Red Right Hand. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that one. There was another song they played on there too. They played it on Can't Hardly Wait. I forgot the name of that song though. But it was like it was 2 other songs though. But definitely Red Right Hand was that standout because Scream, duh. So but yeah, this episode, besides Farron's situation, I just them finding the Rose lady, and like TaMon said, she just took a dive into
that cracked me up.
I text Bobby. I was like, "Why does she want to go swimming? I don't understand what's happening." And then if she's Rose Waters, who is the Bloody Rose that got her face carved up? Aren't they supposed to be the same person?
That's what I thought.
I don't understand any of that family. I don't get it. I don't even know I don't remember the backstory. It is just none of it is making sense to me. I don't even care.
Wow.
The only thing that I'm really enjoying is just the girls on the show. Honestly, that's pretty much it. I like them better this season. I agree with Bobby. I wanted the Farron fight to last a little longer. To me, that just showed how weak whoever is playing this Bloody Rose character is. She held this thing up for 2 hours, and you couldn't do nothing to her, really. So, and to what you said earlier about Julie James, not like knowing she's not going to die. This whole final girl test thing, it kind of falls flat just because we know none of them are going to die.
Right.
Last season, I didn't know that they were all going to survive the whole show at first when I was watching it.
Yeah. Because if we knew one of them was going to die, then this will all make sense. So now I'm watching these like final girl challenges that they're getting, knowing that they're going to survive them because we know that they're not going to die. And if one of them do fail, maybe they're not going to die, but somebody they love close to them might die. But I know one of them are not going to actually get killed off.
So Farron's was tailored to benefit Bloody Rose. So what did Bloody Rose do with Mouse's tests?
That was her introduction.
So she made her play hide and seek. And I'm trying to think what she did, unless she set the place on fire. That was her way of having an up on Mouse. And in this one, making her hold that shit for 2 hours, a way to have a benefit over Farron.
I don't think there's any benefit. I just think with Farron, she knew she got the right one. So she had to weaken Farron in particular because she know that she's stronger than the other girls. Farron works out. She's stronger, like she's built. So she knew, like, I'm not going to beat this bitch ass just with this ass. So I need to weaken her just so I can get a one up. With Mouse, and I feel like with the other girls, it's just going to be probably, I don't know, I might be wrong.
Maybe not Noah. Maybe.
Oh yeah, Noah too. Noah is a badass.
Noah's an athlete too.
Yeah.
How do we?
Hers could be like a track test or something.
How do we? Oh, okay. So we're gonna get to that. I have a picture to talk about that's gonna sort of break down their challenges. But how do we feel about Imogen's? In my head, she is like that classic final girl horror movie lead character, right? That you from the 80s on up. How do we feel about her? Even though it led to nothing, but how do we feel about her babysitting and being stalked around the house? And then Billy Loomis shows up and he consoles her while she's there. How do we feel about that whole?
That was more what's the word I'm looking for? Entertaining, fear-inducing, maybe than the final girl test with Bloody Rose at the end. Maybe because she had her baby with her.
Yeah,
but they kind of built it up also, like the guy's like, hey, this shows the windows open, and so now she has the baby and the damn windows open, so she's searching around the house. She calls the boy over. I felt it. I was like intrigued. There's way too many love interests now for me to think that one of them is not involved. I feel like one of them has to be involved.
Imogen's love interest is so perfect, it doesn't make any sense for him to either not be involved or be alive by the end of this.
Yeah,
I'm staying outside all night, please.
Yeah, he's either one of those. But to go back to Mike's point with that scene, I would say the only reason why that scene was probably really good, shout out to that actress name. Oh, what's her name?
Bailey.
She did a great job in like showing how scared she was. You know, especially when she answered that door and she had the tears and she was like with the knife with the baby. Like I felt that, you know, if it was like anybody else that wouldn't, I'd probably be like, all right, girl, whatever. But she actually did a great job with that scene. So I think that's why it was very, very effective. But her boo, like you said, Billy Loomis, I think he definitely is somewhere playing a part in this, or he's going to die. I think most of these boys are going to die, honestly.
I do too. And not as they should, but like, I almost wanted them to go full on babysitter, boyfriend comes over, and we knows what happens next. Like I really wanted to either like Annie Brackett this situation, or you know, I wanted it to sort of like be more for her in that moment. But you're absolutely right. And the rumors are episode 6, which is not episode 6, is you're gonna really see her do her thing in Imogen do her thing in episode 6 from an acting perspective, and from the whatever happens is going to be bad, and she's going to perform amazing from what I'm hearing.
I mean, I believe it because even in Strangers 2, she did great. I think in that to show all that, so I'm sure that'll be fine.
She's a scream queen. She's great, and she's been acting since I've been watching her since Once Upon a Time, and she was like 8 or 9 then. So
yeah, I just want to shout out Mike Unofficial because that's what I was thinking. Because kind of what Mike here was saying, like if Bloody Rose going to, test each girl, this is probably what it would be with like Mouse was her quietness and her ability to hide. That's what Mike Unofficial said. Farron was strength. Noah will be her speed, and Tabby will be her Kirby horror knowledge. So it's probably gonna be a reference to that with her. That would be dope. And then Imogen, beautiful gowns.
Yeah, that's remember when he said beautiful gowns, y'all. When we get to that part, remember the beautiful gowns. Let me write that too. I think that's spot on, and I wish I had some foreknowledge because some people have seen the first. Oh no, everybody's only seen they've probably seen all of it now, but the first 6 episodes from the screeners that were sent out. So I think that was pretty spot on. I actually love the idea of them doing the challenges. I think that's smart, but no risk. It just sucks. It's time to crank it, like Alex said. Where are the stakes? Let's crank this thing up. We only got 4 more episodes left, and we still don't know anything about Rose. Not that I even care. Bring Archie back, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they should have did it Saw style, like have them do all the tests. They're all together. Just get that out of the way in one episode versus dragging it out with each episode going forward.
I don't mind each episode though. It's just that I want them to be longer. Because if it was just one episode, I'd probably be like, okay, this, and it'd
be stressful.
It'd be stressful, but also if you do each episode, that episode is a chance for each girl to shine in their own thing, rather than it being convoluted in one episode. So unless it's done very well. Yeah. My problem, I love the challenges. It's just that I want them to be longer and I want them to have more stakes. That's it, really. They're too short, and like nobody's obviously going to die. So, like with Farron, for instance, it said like if you drop this before the time is all, somebody you love is going to die. Maybe she should have dropped it, because now who's going to die? It don't have to be one of the other girls. It could be somebody else. Her boyfriend.
That could have been interesting. Her race.
I wish they would have done that. She failed her test.
Yeah, like. And we already know she's a badass, but like realistically, I don't even think I can do that for 2 hours. So I'm so I don't know,
kill him because I'm not doing it. I can't, right. And I'm not about to do it.
Yeah, can you at least give me a hint?
Right.
So I think maybe the finale, they all have one big challenge to sort of survive together, and maybe they have to. In the original show, they did something similar to this, to where all the girls was kidnapped and put into prom dresses and put into this underground bunker, and they separated them, and each girl had to determine who got punished.
Oh wow! Ooh,
and so, like, they were, and if you didn't answer, they were like doing those lights and noises just to make you really horribly uncomfortable. But you had to choose someone of the girls to be tortured.
Ooh, so who would we want to be tortured out of this?
No, not someone that I think can probably handle it will be Tabby or Farron. And Farron, is your back all the way done? Did you go see Tony Stark's? You got healed up all the way like that to where you can hold up this beam. I love it, but you're super strong after this back injury.
Yeah. What I did like too is that, like, because I feel like most shows or movies would ignore, like, if after holding that thing up for 2 hours and then they just moving regularly, you could actually felt that she was tired and she was in pain when she was climbing up the gate in pain, even before
it was giving Slayer again. It was giving Slayer again to me.
It was. She was like trying
oh damn, I can't say it. You haven't seen it yet, but I was about to say something that would have spoiled a good episode on Buffy with Bobby.
I'm with you, and it gives that, and it gives like, this is my first day training, and I'm here, and I took on I bit off more than I can chew, and I got to get up out of here.
Yes.
She is the next Slayer. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I'm here.
We are. That show the church is putting on, do we think that's a way to get everybody together for the bodies to really hit the floor?
What I'm sick of is this institution attempting to brainwash people, and I don't know what's going on, but our homegirl Kelly was completely different when she had her Carrie moment.
Okay,
that's what I called it. It was definitely felt like Carrie.
yeah.
Definitely felt like Carrie.
That was one of my issues rewatching this. Okay, so I did live for the Carrie moment, sure, but then after rewatching, I've realized, and I might be wrong, like you guys can probably like let me know, but was she talking to her mom that way in the first season and like early on, like calling her mama and like speaking like like I feel like I was watching a total different relationship between her mom. Like I know like she had this relationship with her mom, but now it was just like giving us too much of Carrie. And I'm okay with getting horror references, but when it's too much, sometimes it just takes me out of it. And I did like it, but I feel like they should have done something different to allude to Carrie
Eve
more so.
I think they should have done that before she decided, oh, there's hypocrites all in this house, so let me go out and stay. Because I was like, okay, you acting bad beforehand, and then you get in the house and knowing that you were being rebellious, and now you shocked. To me, it should have been like the reverse, maybe.
Yeah. But. I don't know. And then with the church thing, like I feel like it's a total different plot situation going on with Kylie. But obviously we're getting this because it's going to tie in with the rest of the girls. And I already told TaMon like my theory a little bit about this as well. And I just feel like it's going to be a connection, and Kelly's obviously a part of the situation. What's going on with the girls, with this church and being included. So, yeah, I don't know.
Can we just say that the mother also has done a 180 from who she was in season 1?
Yeah.
I get she joined this church sleeping with the pastor, but now she's this what was Carrie's mom name?
Margaret.
I was gonna say Martha. Yeah, Margaret White character. All of a sudden, when you were even afraid to even say anything to your husband or kids in season 1, so that's really strange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she was searching for some sort of purpose after all that shit from the last season. But there is a thing with people being attracted to men in power in church, well, I guess in general. But I could see it. And she's like, don't embarrass me.
In front of my man.
I mean, I see that, but I'm just still stuck with the relationship between Kelly and her. Like, have she been locked in closets before? Like, is this an ongoing thing? Is this something?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like if it was, then sure. But I feel like this was just placed in here just to give us something familiar.
So random. Random. And I get that you want to make the church happen. You want it to be fetch. I get it. But let that be the reason for the season, if that's the case, because maybe Bloody Rose was a part. I don't know. I don't even understand how Bloody Rose plays to any of this. I need to drink. I don't even know how Rose is a part of this. But we're talking about the church. I don't know. How are they actually brainwashing and doing these hypnotizing? If they're going down that road, which was done in other shows, that's like Riverdale, which is also in this universe apparently. It was done in that. So it's really weird that they're going down this route of brainwashing things, and that brainwashing thing is going to come up later on in the show when we talk about what they're saying. What happened with Tabby this episode? Bobby, that's you. What happened?
What happened? Wait, what did happen?
She shot another movie.
Oh yeah, the movie. Yeah,
I could have left without that, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, that movie was Tabby. You could have done better, girl. I don't know. Like, all right. So Tabby, that's my girl. I love her, but I was thinking about this too with the writers and stuff. Was it this episode or the last one when they were talking? Oh yeah, it was the vampire movies. That was the last one. I'm just going back to that real quick. As I thought about this a little bit more, she said that her favorite vampire movie is Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. Cute, right? Cute. I love that movie. and she never seen Blackula. As a black woman that knows your
Are we still
hard
doing it?
knowledge,
Are we doing this again this week?
We are.
Are we doing this again?
Alex
we
is lying
are.
about that
It's
too.
just,
Alex
it's just, it's just the writing for me. Like, it's just.
She's 12. Okay, Buffy would appeal to her more than Blackula
because
would.
she knew her hard knowledge. This bitch is saying hard quotes every other fucking line that she's, whatever conversation she's having. So there's no excuse. I can get away with the Blackula thing, maybe because I just seen Blackula maybe like 10 years ago or so. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie is your favorite, like your vampire.
Yeah.
Of all the iconic horror movies, I live for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's one of my favorite vampire movies.
Mike.
Exactly. She can no troll too, but not blow. Like, that's what I'm saying. The writing.
I'm a prime example of that could be the case.
And I feel like if I was this actress, I would like, look, I'm not trying to like get fired or anything, but I think I know Fabby. And I feel like she would like this particular type of movie.
To your point, she did have that moment in the first season with the professor or teacher where she was like, there's no people of color or women on this list of directors. So it does make sense that she would have seen Blackula by now.
That's what I'm saying. As much as she knows, like, I just...
It doesn't matter. It's in a digital age.
Yeah.
Jimmy, we're not.
And that's the thing.
They're barely using technology as is.
Because you can't.
I'm surprised by.
Yeah, because that technology doesn't age well. So, like, you can't really use it in this.
Wait, do we think this is not really current day? Because they have cell phone. Has anybody FaceTimed on here yet?
They said Jordan Peele, so that's enough.
Yeah.
They talked about Get Out.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that we talk about Farron and Kelly's relationship. I actually thought that pool scene with Kelly and Greg, who I'm loving this season, Kelly and Greg and Farron and Henry, who can go to any moment. I actually thought that was a cool scene, but those are those moments in horror movies where stuff happens. It's about to happen. Yeah. And I was getting so mad that nothing happened at that moment. It would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Only 2 people survived whatever incident happened from the pool date night. Or whatever. Mike, you thought Swim Fan or whatever it's called was good.
Not Swim Fan.
Night Swim.
Night Swim was good, so I guess
but no, I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering, like, okay, is her test gonna start in here somehow, and then she gets split up from the group and something, but that could just be programming from Scream. And I know what you did last summer, me expecting these like random pop-ups from a killer instead of what we got.
I think that's a horror trope in general. Think about Poltergeist 3 when they were in the pool. Nothing happened to those people in the pool, but stuff was building and happening around it.
Well, maybe one of them's the killer, and that's why nothing happened in the pool.
You know what? I think that's a possibility. Yeah, I think
2 boyfriends, 2 of the girls.
Kelly,
and 2 dudes, I think.
Or is Karen alive? No, but
I was wondering Karen being alive. I was wondering.
Because didn't you say they pulled tricks like that in the original series, Pretty Little Liars? Like
every week, every season, one killer, somebody thought they were, like I said last week, in the original show, Mouse would have died in that game in Chuck E. Cheese, and 2 seasons later, she would have been mad at everybody for not rescuing her. So that's what would have happened in the original series.
So is what Jimmy was talking about, because I know there was a still going around of Farron and Greg, like all smiling in each other's face and shit. So maybe they're going to start flirting a little bit, and that's maybe what he's saying with this going to go downhill between Farron and Kelly.
Or Henry. Remember, we all forget Henry, okay? We don't know anything about him at all.
Henry wants Greg too. He doesn't know it yet, but he wants Greg. And
I agree with you on
it
that.
Isn't just because he's a ballerina. It's something else. I can't pick up on what it is.
The personality. It's given very, my gun is pink.
Bobby. And he stand by that. I stand not I picked the female character.
And he's being a supportive boyfriend in high school, and I call bullshit. So
Farron is about to see some shit that she shouldn't see in that church. When is she going to the church? Is that next week for the play?
I don't even know. Hopefully,
find out Kelly and Karen had a triplet. Who is the killer? Okay, that's old school too. They had twins, 3 sets of twins.
Oh my god,
a split personality.
That would be wild. No, I'll take with Kelly just being brainwashed and she get into I'll take that over somebody coming back from the dead or something.
Kelly is brainwashed like Bucky.
Yeah.
Kelly could be coping with her stress of losing a twin, and now she is her twin. Just like in another movie I saw recently, and I think I can't tell you what it's called because I just spoiled the whole.
Is there a chance? Because they're saying Chad and the father from the last season died. Is there a chance that one of them actually wasn't killed? Like maybe Chad.
Who was Chad?
Tabby's friend. Chad was Tabby's friend from last season. Chip.
Oh,
whatever. Chip.
He looked like a Chad though.
Chip Douglas. I'm wondering if maybe he's not actually dead, because we didn't see an actual death with him. We just saw him screaming right when the door opened.
Mama wouldn't show up and do a cease and desist on Tabby if he wasn't dead, would she?
I don't know.
She just was talking about his reputation. She wasn't really talking about him being dead that much.
Oh, that's true too.
That is true.
Didn't she write rapists on his grave?
Tabby got him together. Yeah, she did.
But it could be
in all caps.
I don't know. They could put that together. I don't know. I'm with Mike. That's still something.
Because Tabitha's trauma from last season, it keeps recurring in this season we're seeing with her. And I'm just trying to make some sort of connection.
Well, it's also going on. Well, obviously trauma, because she's also getting involved with a new boy. So obviously that's going to affect her, especially if it's the same type of connection she had with Chip is with Christian. Of course, that's going to keep coming back to, keep running back for her. And that's hard, because didn't that just happen like last year or something with Chip? Yeah. So it's still fresh. So of course she's still going to be.
But if there's going to be like a final moment with someone versus a villain, if I'm trying to think what characters would make it savory, like if it's Chip versus Tabitha for like the final battle, and she has an actual personal issue with him versus just some random bitch that nobody fucking knows and we still don't know about, and we got 4 episodes left, it's not going to have the same impact unless it's somebody we know we just aren't aware of yet.
I think it's somebody out Kelly's and Karen's mother all season, and she has a lot to be upset about personally if I'm thinking about it. And Rose Waters is still alive.
Well, we know it's not her for sure.
And Chip's mom has stuff to be upset about too. Like, you killed my son. You killed my Billy. So like she's upset about that as well.
It could be that.
Then let's talk about suspects.
Okay.
We have all boyfriends. We know the rules. Never trust a love interest. We have, and don't get me started on Ghost Jen.
This was Noah's fault this episode. This was not her fault, by the way.
Don't matter. It don't matter.
Noah suggested everything.
That's fine. And Jen did it. Jen, why are you even involved in anything that we're talking about? Why are you even here?
Why are you here?
Because she's there.
Play with your money and mind us alone. Why are you stealing $20 and your daddy rich? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of Jen, and I want her to be opened up and hung up by the end of this season.
This girl has done nothing wrong.
She's done
nothing wrong.
I also just think they just threw this like lesbian relationship at us out of nowhere. Like, did we get an inkling of Noah being in the life in that first season?
I love how you said that. But the fact of the matter, I saw some things on Twitter. It was like, this is the LGBT relationship that we've been wanting to see. And they just completely skipped over Mouse and Ash. And even though he's he's trans man, so I guess it's not the same, but it's still something to explore.
Yeah, for sure.
And this whole Sherlock Holmes, and I don't see it for them. I just don't see it for them. I just don't see them doing what they're supposed to be doing, solving mysteries. Is Jen Cullen needs to go? She actually needs to go and find the rest of her clan and do some more vampire stuff.
I agree, Ricky. Ricky was saying like she thinks Tabby would have been queer. I could see Tabby, I could see Noah, I could see Farron being queer out of the 5 of them. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe not all at once because that might be too much for the viewers. But
girl, come
on, DEI, diversity inclusion. We love it.
The Gay Straight Alliance friend group. That's what they should have did. It made a Gay Straight Alliance.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we haven't seen Sean much this season. He doesn't care. He's an athlete.
Who's that?
Sean is Noah's actual boyfriend, not Jen.
Oh, the pool. Okay.
Yeah.
The one who paid $3,000 for this. Yeah, okay.
Sean is gone. The hot boy Sean is gone. He was an athlete. He's on the swim team. He was all the boxes that Noah needed to be checked. But oh no, soon as Ruby Jen come out, she wants to go ahead and play with her.
There's clearly something they have that she does not have with Sean. Okay,
it's it is clear. One thing they have that Sean doesn't have.
Well, he needs to step it up.
He can't grow one of them.
No, he needs to step it up in the personality department, the chemistry. I just feel like he's just there.
Well,
Him and Noah just seems like a just typical high school, which I guess they're kids, so it's not like it should be high maintenance. But I don't sense no passion. Okay, none of that from them. They're barely around each other.
Because we're focusing too much on Noah and Jen. Like just bring
She's focusing on Jen. That ain't our fault.
Jen is focusing on her.
Ash told Noah's mama, "You a junkie and you need to leave Noah alone." Jen ain't doing none of that. She's stealing watches and doing stuff like that. Okay.
Well, and Ash is clearly stealing money from his parents to go bail some people out of jail.
She's probably going to get blood because she's a vampire. But okay, that's enough of Jen. Next, this week I don't have anything to talk about Ash because he's never around, and he's wondering why his girlfriend is being a snack for this Juvie Jen. Next, we have ice cream. Billy, Johnny. It's one of those typical, we'll go with Billy Loomis. Next, we have Billy Loomis, who loves Imogen so much that he wanted to stay outside of the house and make sure she was protected. I will say that line that he did to sort of disarm her was like, not to be rude, but are you having a full meltdown right now? And she actually was. I was like, okay, I can see why you would probably give it up to him in just a moment because he was like really, he's like the boy next door,
He's a hoe, okay? And
himbo.
She knows this on top of everything else, but the fact that she was like calling him randomly at night and was like, "Can you come over?" To me, that was already strange that he would even get up and leave to come over there after that phone call.
You don't even know him like that.
There's a baby in the house.
And we know what babysitters do when they babysit kids go to sleep.
I'm surprised the gay couple was like, "You better get that motherfucker out of my house because you already had one of these. You had one of these already, so you better get up out of our house."
We're not adopting a second one, okay? We're not doing it twice. We saw some boy come up in our front door. Yeah, that was a quick check.
Right. Yeah, him wanting to stay outside all night was odd to me.
Alex, if you were crushing on a girl and she called you over to soothe her, would you stay outside all night and wait for her to come out the next morning?
Seriously?
Oh my God.
You had met her like 2 days ago and you would do that?
Trying to get them draws.
See? It's never that deep. I guess as a teenager, sure, but like,
as a teenager, man. Definitely.
First of all, how old is he? Where's his parents at? You staying out all night in front of some damn house in the car?
some teenagers can do that, man.
That's true.
You
Oh,
know,
no.
their parents are gone. You know, they work nights. You know, things like that. So you'd be amazed at what teenagers
Suspect
can
number 2.
A lot of them can sneak out. You know,
That was me. I used to sneak out. My mom used to work nights, and I used to be back in my bed
Especially
before
if
she
you
got
have a
home in the morning.
especially if you have a car. There's a lot you can do to get away with. Shit,
So,
Billy's
Alex,
dad didn't even know he snuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm gonna say what Randy said. The boyfriend thing is tired. Who else do we got? Because if it's Bloody Rose, I'm going for a woman that's doing this. So it has to be a woman exacting revenge on them. And my suspect number 1 would be Chip's mom. She's going Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah, and I forgot about her for a little bit too. We were so focused on everybody else that we forgot about her, and that's what they want you to do. They want you to forget. So when it's revealed, you're like, "Oh shit, I forgot she existed."
That's
You just
Mr. X. Yep.
Alex just reminded me. They keep saying she all over every time they refer to her, so it's making me think it's not even a woman that is trying to kill them. But if I'm still leaning towards a therapist, because girl, you don't know who pushed you. You got pushed. Please.
But it's too much of a red herring. Like it's leaning too much on a therapist.
That would be them obvious. Showing that she was the therapist of whatever her name is, whatever. And I was like, okay, so they're trying to throw me off the scent. I still think it's her. I think she's involved.
That in this show, she said she didn't have any family, but in the original series, she had a child.
So she's a liar.
She's a liar.
Okay.
And why are you still here? We're fine. We don't need you. And this has to be somebody who knows them personally, knows all their weaknesses, their strengths, everything going on. So, and she's one of those people.
Even with Imogen, when she went to visit her at the hospital, and she said that somebody pushed her down the steps or whatever, and she was like, "Imogen, like I know, like thank you for keeping me company, but don't you got somewhere to be?" It seemed like she was trying to get rid of her so she can go and do whatever she wants. Yeah, like
I was just about to
go
say
ahead.
That. Exactly.
I said, "Bitch, you think you slipped?" But then again, I don't know. The writers might be like, "This is who we want you to think it is," but it might not actually be. So I still have her on my radar, but she's not my number 1 sus.
They're doing great with misdirects. And remember, going into this show, they said this season is about sequels. So the tropes, like Alexx said, where Randy said about sequels, yeah, we do need to sort of think about those things too. It could be none of this stuff that we're talking about,
right?
Because yes, they are introducing strangely a large amount of love interest, because we know that in these cases it's the love interest. But for sequels like this, we know that it's about the revenge of the before, and those are the parents. Pamela Voorhees, even though she was the first killer, it easily worked vice versa. Nancy Loomis, we know the same thing too. So maybe it is a parent. So I'm voting for Karen and Kelly's mom and Chip's mom. But something tells me that a guy is under that costume too. The way it moves. Feels like a guy, and almost like choreographed, like it could be a dancer. So Henry, I may have to keep him under my list too. I don't know.
Mouse's boyfriend.
We all thought
Mouse's boyfriend.
We all thought Friday the 13th, it was a guy that did all that shit. When we first watched Friday the 13th, we all just knew up and down, like a guy is doing that. Urban legend. We just talked about urban
and a young one.
So like, you know, it could look and feel almost like it, but I really honestly feel like it could be a woman that's really pulling this shit off. We don't really get too many examples of women doing these type of things. We usually always automatically go for a guy, but I think classic misdirection is for us to assume automatically that there's a guy doing this, when really it could be a woman that's really exacting revenge and showing her strength and her revenge and her knowing them and stalking them and having everything planned out and detailed. There's a few women out there, a few examples of that in horror that really actually have been formidable foes for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just to echo that, in the interviews, Farron, of course, talked about women and power and strength. So maybe that is a thing that's a theme that's going to resonate even until the killer's reveal for this season. And are you guys noticing that the parents are like non-existent?
Yeah, they're absent.
Only
now
Tabby's mother's somewhat been in and out.
But Mouse's parents are on a cruise, and Imogen. Oh, sorry.
Her father's still around, but not there.
Farron's mother is in law school, and her father is nowhere to be found.
But Mouse's grandmother's there, and I'm side-eyeing her too now because
I'm sick of it.
I told you. We said it. That's not there. Her grandmother is definitely. She's playing. I don't know. She's playing around, y'all. I don't trust her.
Because they asked her questions this last episode, like, "Hey, who were you talking to?" A lady, and she said her name was Rose. So
I don't know.
It has to be a woman, right? Do we?
Maybe it's just a bunch of hurt mothers that's Bloody Rose, and they're just doing this as a collective of them.
It's all the boyfriends.
And just another thing, based off the timeline, I didn't know this till I saw a post on Twitter, but it is true. When Angela Rose was in Radcliffe, which is the insane asylum, which is in all of the shows in this world, in this universe, 2 A's from the previous show was in the institution at the same time, and a main character, 2 main characters. Well, so I don't know if they're gonna do any connecting things, but that's gonna suck for people who didn't watch it. Like, the original show, you're not gonna get that connection. So I don't think they're gonna do anything like that. But something tells the therapist will be a through line to all of that. Is what my point is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a liar, and I don't like it.
We have some guesses in the comments.
Ooh, let's see what we got going on. Let's see. First up, we have Mike. I'm voting for Chip's mom and Christian. I think he's a Mickey killer. Ooh, how done. We like that. He called Tabby a final girl. He had a Bloody Rose mask already made, and he's been on spaghetti. Let's hold on that. Do we think, guys, that is too red herring, or is that exactly how red herring works?
It's too red herring.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
That's too red herring. That's how I felt about Randy when I first watched Scream. He was on my suspect list.
Yeah.
And so I always kind of exclude sometimes the horror fan. Just because they watch it doesn't mean that they have these, homicidal rage that they want to exact on people, and he ended up being a really good ally and a really good help to the police and everything when he was alive and he was around. So when I look at Christian, and her, Tabby's love interest or whatever, I'm like, that's just a guy who's a big fan of horror. And so just because he had that mask in the base, in his basement, everything, it's suspicious, sure, but it's his passion. I'm gonna take it as such. It's his passion, and he's really good at what he does. And I just think that he really genuinely may like her, and I think that it's a red herring for sure. I think a lot of these guys, they're all red herrings, really. I think a lot of the guys are. I think
that would be smart.
A lot of these guys are red herrings.
Christian, I will say, like, for sure. Like, I remember last episode I said I didn't trust him.
Yeah.
But Alexx, that does make a lot of sense. I was like, and I even said this too. I said he's either a part of it or he's going to die.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of the two. I would like him to survive, and I'm hoping that he's not a part of it because I do like his character. But I think this is just going to be something else to maybe target Tabby. Like, I'm hoping that, like, when she does her test and she happens to fail, maybe Christian will die because of what happened. So, and that would be something else for her to feel angry about. Yeah, because this is somebody she actually liked, again, like kind of like Chip, but Chip was against her where Christian wasn't, but now he's taken away. So I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know.
How do we feel? Because I like Christian. It's just all of these guys, and I'm gonna lump Jen in with that. Not that I didn't have her that way. I'm just the love interest. But all of these guys are so perfect, so loving, so either they're perfect or they're perfectly flawed, rather. Let's say that. Mm-hmm. Christian got found in the basement, and then Billy Loomis, of course, he's a man whore. They're just so great. Either I think they're gonna all be killed, which I think will be horrible for the liars, which is good for us. Or That's all I got. How do we feel if Christian would be the one to die? How would we feel about that?
Yeah,
like
I'll
be upset, but I will be
too.
Yeah,
all those guys I think are like Derek in Scream 2.
Yes,
that's how I view a lot of these dudes. They don't even know, like they're in over their head just being involved with a lot of these girls, and that's the thing, and despite their past, because a lot of people know what they experienced, what they went through, they still stick around and want to be actually, genuine and gentle and concerned and supportive throughout this particular time. And so I feel like a lot of them are basically, it reminds me of Derek's character from Scream 2, how you're like, nah, he's too perfect. But then at the same time, like, no, he just really was a good, solid person. Right. I think that a lot of these guys are basically, that type of character, that type of love interest as time around.
Alex,
sorry. No, I just had a quick question about Chip. Do we know if he had any siblings or anything like that? Like that? Because another theory I had was these boys, particularly Johnny's popping out the fucking woodwork. Maybe this is all a plot for him to get closer to Imogen because of maybe he has a connection to Chip somehow. And the mother, maybe that's his mom as well. We don't know who he is really. So I don't know. I want to be with you, Alex, about these boys being, but I don't trust at least two of them.
Interest. You don't.
At least two of them I don't trust. I'm sorry. It's too big.
I think I'm on the fence because yes, we're trained to not trust the love interest. That's been like the baseline of how we find these killers, right? But then you want to sort of flip that on his head, and they're like the Derricks are the good guys. But then you want to flip that also on his head because we know that too. I don't think the killer is a main character, but a main character is likely orchestrating it. Ooh. It has to go down to the parents, the mothers. It has to be that. If that's the case, and they did a hired gun scenario, which I could see Chip's mom being the one to be like, you know what? I'm going to bring somebody in to take care of you hoes.
You also said, I'm just happy one of them is black. That's true. We like to see a black love interest for one of the girls.
But we also would like to see a black villains as well.
Yeah.
True.
So
true.
If he's it would break my heart if he was a part of it, because I know he probably is going to die. He's going to die either way. He's either going to die as a killer or he's going to die.
Yeah.
He's just going to die. And it sucks because I like him, but I just don't trust this show either. So,
Jimmy, that is true. That is very true. Derek was supposed to be the killer with Hallie, but the script leak. Yes.
Wait, somebody told me, because I said something about Scream 2, and he said, I said something about Urban Legend with Rebecca Gayheart, and they DM'd me, and they were just like, well, I think the tea is that Rebecca Gayheart was supposed to be, she wanted Holly's role as the killer, so she was the one that actually leaked it. And that's why they changed it, because it was supposed to go to her. So that's why when she went to Urban Legend, she ended up being the killer in that one, because she was supposed to be the killer in Scream 2. But she was jealous of at least Neil. So she was the one that secretly leaked the script.
Messy boots. But
that would be crazy.
She auditioned for Cece for sure.
Yeah.
Every actress in Hollywood auditioned for that role. So that was a thing.
I don't know why.
Bobby, exactly. for these 9 pages. But anyway,
right.
But anyway, leave the villain-ish to the white.
No,
it's nice to have a black villain.
We need everybody should be capable of being a villain.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all don't want to die first, okay? Y'all don't want to just be the sideline.
You mean we?
Now you don't want to be the killers. What do you want to do? What, huh?
What do you want? Today and actually, be, legitimate as a character, well-rounded, fully fleshed out characters like Tabby. I want more characters like Tabby for sure.
Yeah. And Farron.
And Farron, yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, and I say this all the time, and I hate to keep making this reference, but Tabby is the Mindy that we deserved.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because Mindy on paper wasn't well
yeah.
done. unfortunately.
For sure.
We are going to go to a short commercial, and when we'll come back, we'll wrap up this conversation about Pretty Little Liars chapter 14, and we'll talk about some fun things. We'll be right back. And we're right back. So now we're going to go into a section that we like to call What Are They Saying? What are y'all screaming about this show? And this is going to give us a little bit more insight to some things about Pretty Little Liars. So, all righty. This is a really cool picture that was taken and not photoshopped. Kelly and Bloody Rose having the same necklace. Kelly, you went up in my suspiciousness list. So this is Kelly, and you can't really see it that well, however, but you can see that Kelly, look at her eyes of Rose. Kelly is also wearing the same necklace that Bloody Rose is wearing. It's a cross necklace. We'll put this on check our Twitter page, and we'll repost this picture so you can actually see it better. But Kelly, someone mentioned earlier that what if they were triplets and the other one was institutionalized, which seems like what those two parents would actually do.
Get the bad apple away into a. That's crazy.
Kelly does have on the necklace. I mean, Rose does have on the necklace. Her eye shape and color is very close to.
When you sent me this, I was cracking up because I was like, look at her nose. Even the front of her nose is the same shit.
It is exactly the same.
I was just going in because I was like, this needs to be her or like like triplet, something. So I'm still stuck on Kelly. I don't care.
What do we think, y'all? Because that's not the
eye
mom.
color. Same
Is
eye
that
color.
Just a necklace personal to her, or are there other people in the church who could possibly have the same necklace?
And that's what I said. Is this like that a little thing that you get out when you do your chastity and swear?
Well,
to
let's
this
rewind and watch those other episodes and look around and see.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I play investigator. I don't be playing, so I'm gonna do that after that.
Yes, me. So we can look at the other people and see if they have that same. Does Greg have it?
Right. I don't know.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, watch it. I'm Team Greg this season.
Because I'm trying to, and even the people not in the group who are dying, like, what is making sense? So there may be a love interest sex aspect to this because the first couple that Rosewater killed that were in the cabin or whatever, then you had a girl that was messing around with Greg because Kelly wasn't giving him any.
Oh.
And then you have all the girls now who are linking up with their love interests. So I'm wondering if it's kind of like a Cherry Falls-ish reverse kind of thing.
Good reference.
Mm-hmm.
No sex is the rule, right? So
there's that.
The killer is killing people that are being adulterous.
Yeah. The first couple she killed, they were hooking up in the the shed or whatever, the cabin. And that's where she showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Which could still be her mom, but I think that's too obvious just because the way she's been acting.
Yeah.
And last season it was like the fucking who was the prince? Somebody at the school, someone I would never fucking even guess was a part of it. So I'm wondering if it's just some random off, like Langston said, it's not even somebody we would ever consider.
Like the lifeguard coach.
Yes, Jimmy. So that means Imogene's boy can go.
Don't kill Billy Loomis. I like Imogen and Billy. He gonna bring the home.
I think he's just a nice summer fling.
Yeah.
So we better not see him next season.
He's gonna enroll.
He's cool for the summer.
He's gonna be a transfer.
He's like 23. Like that's what he's given.
Not he's at community college. Imogen, no.
No, Imogen, yes. Get your life. Go with the older guys. You stop dealing with the high schoolers.
What about the pastor?
Ooh.
He's just like the principal, basically. So
But what would be his deal? Like,
it has to be a connection. He's Rose.
I need a queer person to be targeted for me to think it's maybe him, because that flyer for the play they sent out seemed very like anti-gay. So I'm like, if a queer person gets targeted next, then maybe
Mouse. I guess that's not
Noah.
Oh, Noah will have her time to shine.
And maybe that's why she's in this relationship now, so it could be an excuse because she's gotten this, again, let's be honest, relationship weird. So
yeah, and they killed Jen.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so Kelly, your whole family line is in our suspect list. So
yes.
Karen, Kelly, your mama, your triplet, your daddy, whatever it is, you on the list. All right, let's look at this next one. Okay, y'all. I've been holding
Yo.
Y'all, I want to be completely transparent and not be messy, but that scene didn't even compare to Noah's. And Noah's was probably the same length, now that I think about it, but it wasn't. It didn't gear.
I think her test should have been at like the pool. Like, give us something where it's like, they still could have did that strength shit, but like we didn't really get a chase for real. Because like Rose wasn't even running. And also, bitch, you cheating. Like, why are you sitting here waiting to kill me? Like, that wasn't in your rules. So you didn't tell me that if I survived, you would try to kill me.
You didn't say, she just said somebody, if you drop it, somebody else is going to die. She didn't say I wasn't going to come out and whoop your ass.
Well, you should have gave me 14 Rose. Now, you said if I hold this up.
But no, I was expecting more of a fight scene between the two of them after that.
I said the same. Minus that little slash she got on her arm. Like, I wanted a more.
I had a picture of her talking about that little slash in her arm, but it wasn't worth it. But
yeah,
man, you did your thing, but we want you to actually sit up here and twirl. Like, we've seen Final Girls twirl, and I don't know if Rose is, like Bobby said, a weak bitch, because it feels like if it was two of y'all against her, it's over for Rose versus Arson last season.
Yeah.
TaMon, I heard you say Rose like 3 times already.
Oh yeah.
I had to get me a new beer, so here we go.
Got me together. Hold on one second. Let me just read these.
Is that Jaeger? What are you drinking?
Oh,
oh.
I'm a gin guy. Gin makes you sin. I guess I'll go to that church with the rest of them.
But also that scene with Noah was impactful because we didn't know that she wasn't going to die in the show. No, comparing the two scenes, the Noah chase scene with this Farron scene, it's just not going to be the same because we know that they're going to survive this, or maybe they lied to us. We didn't know that the first time around, but we know this season they're not going to die. The main girls.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I guess we do know that.
Yeah, but Noah's was just even like an actual chase scene, like Farron, like she was just being chased to the gate, called over, and then that was the end of it.
She was giving Night of the Demons, and I was like,
"Yeah,
wall, girl, please."
Bobby, she wasn't even giving that. Like, if she got stuck on the barbed wire or something, and Rose is like sitting there trying to slash at her, I would even got that. You know,
or
like
even that scene from Ready or Not when Samara Reed was trying to get through the gate to get to the street. Like, if she would have broke her flesh open, if she was blood. Come on, y'all. Yeah. It's not like this is not on HBO.
This is on HBO fucking Max. Like, they
come on.
And they just had a show on there with kids in high school that were in a throuple, renting out a damn hotel room, fucking all over the damn place. So y'all not gonna tell me y'all can't be cutting these people up on this show.
They can do that. Now that I didn't think about it to this very moment. That gate scene should have been more impactful. Like, yes, she's just been holding this weight, but it was barbed wire, I think, even up there.
It was barbed wire on it. So
then the editing was weird too, because it's just like she was climbing, and the next thing you know, she dropped to the ground. No.
It looked like she was climbing, she slipped, Rose was getting closer, and the next thing you know, you see her over the gate, and I'm just like, no, we didn't see her go over the gate actually. So they edited that out, like they edited it a certain way.
It was cheap.
So
I want
what
to see her get her hands cut. Like I want to see her like get caught.
I mean, she looked
like,
pretty fucked up.
I don't think so.
No, not enough.
It was. I just think they needed a fight, and then when she hopped over the even though I didn't want this for the Farron character to really throw me off, show us a second killer on the other side and just immediately stab her from that side of the fence
and leave.
Leave.
That would have been a lot, but sickening for sure.
That would have been wild for sure.
Because as soon as she landed, she screamed and ran off. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yes.
What was her name in Halloween?
Don't do it.
2018, the granddaughter,
Alson.
Yeah,
that whole scene by the fence.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I just wish that like they would have pushed the envelope more and did that Night of the Demons, like barbed wire. My ribs are being scraped, or I can't do this fence.
She got cut on the ankle. She's getting slashed on her leg because there's one still like something.
I mean, it would have made sense if Rose set up the whole area to make it really difficult for her to get out, just in general, even if she did successfully finish the test.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a saw trap, but I was it's like not really.
No. I want them to push.
She did it and left. But this is not to question your badassness, Zaria. You still got it. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, when she got that phone call, she was like, "Let's go." She was ready.
I was talking about her this whole episode. She was like, "I'll beat her old ass."
Yes.
But with a box cutter though, like for real.
I mean, yeah, for real. I get it.
They don't have a lot in Millwood to work with.
I mean, this is
not making it seem like they live in a fucking like village somewhere and they don't have much resources. They come the fuck on.
It was not these girls. I would have ordered me a mace, a taser, and probably would have had a permit to carry by this time. But we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. Especially with Tabby as my best friend who knows what this is. We're not doing it. Episode 6 is supposed to be the one. Exactly. That's what I've been hearing. Episode 6 is supposed to be crazy.
And that's with Bailey Madison, her moment.
Yes. So I think she's going to find a dead body. And what's the next picture? I think that may be the one that we can talk about.
Maybe it's the gay couple who adopted the kid. Maybe they'll be dead.
Okay, so this is a breakdown of this is an official flyer from the show. Not with those extra pictures, but the pictures in the background. As you look at it, all the girls are going through their different tests. Let's start bottom left. That is Mouse.
Yeah.
That is Mouse. Then we go up. I can't really see that here. It's like somebody's. Oh, that's a picture of Noah from I think next
first
week.
season. Oh, that's next week. Oh.
She's going to get a chase scene again.
Okay.
So I actually like that. I actually like that she gets another chase scene. Then to the far right, we have Farron holding a tree. Remind you, this is brought out at the beginning of the season before any tests happen. In the middle, we have Tabby, which is super interesting because there's two killers beside her, male and female, wearing a mask. And to the right is Imogen, holding a bloody something of someone who I guess that image is like an angel or perfection, which could be Billy Loomis. So maybe she finds his dead body. I don't know. But
it looks like Summer's Isle, the thing, the Wicker Man, or something like that.
Midsummer, yeah.
Midsummer, yeah.
Yeah, Tabitha, yeah.
So remember what we said last week. Tabby did say she has a very, very, very hard scene with Bloody Rose that's coming up that was physically demanding for her. This is a 20-something-year-old girl, so for it to be that like that for her, it must have been something for real.
She better eat.
She better eat. So before even seeing these pictures, is that wolves with no?
It looked like. Yeah, it's like
one to the left. Yeah,
wolves are symbolic of like falsity. So wolves and sheep clothing.
Okay, I thought Bloody Rose was just going to unleash a bunch of wolves on Noah, and she has to run from
Baby, let me tell you something. Noah has to chase
the wolves. That would be crazy. You're like, bitch, you got to wait this time. Try to get away from these motherfuckers.
Let's try this again. Let's run that back.
Let's try this again, right?
But remember, her picture that leaked was she was scratched up, bloodied up, all those things from Noah. So she could have got dragged by wolves. But wolves do mean, like, think about wolves in sheep's clothing. So people who are in front
Somebody
of her
that's not
Jen. And then I'm trying to understand because Tabby's look really serious. I see
hers looks like it's going to be in church or something, like some ritual.
The play.
But it doesn't make sense because I'm like, they have not even touched on her being connected to any of those people there.
Unless they lure her there.
Yeah. Unless
somehow
her film gets selected for that program and she's lured to something like that. That's theater-ish.
It's a fake. It was a fake call. It was not really the school that wanted her film.
Yes, I thought that too because I still know what you did last summer, and I thought about that because the fake trip or whatever. Like this is probably like a fake call about her.
Brasilia.
This is not real. It's something. Like
either it's not real or they switched out her tape for something else. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
ooh.
But I think that one with Tabby is going to be really sickening. And it looks like it's two killers.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's Bloody Rose to the left.
And who to the right?
Looks like somebody's mama to the right.
Well,
in pants?
It's going to be Chip's mom, probably.
Two mothers.
She's fed up with her shit. And then whoever's dressed as the Bloody Rose one, that one is either a guy underneath that or... Huh?
Who's fed up with who?
Chip's mother's fed up with Tabby.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
So I'm gonna say that, and then Bloody Rose. I don't know who that is, but I'm still going with Kelly somehow, or it could be a guy underneath that. It could be Chip, like Mike said. Maybe he's not really dead.
Oh my!
Because we didn't see him die, like you said. Like we just see him screaming, and that was it. And then obviously we got the gravestone, but maybe they just put that there to make it seem that way, so they could get away with this shit. So. I don't know.
The channel has a lot of secrets.
It is tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Based off what we've been hearing, Imogen, that photo is going to be emotional. That's what we know. It feels like you find like a dead body, like dead clothing. You're drinking blood cloths. I don't know, but when I look at the pictures, it's like the blood from think about Derek, how he was up on the little thing at the end of Scream 2.
Yeah.
And we compared him to the boyfriend.
Ice Cream Boy.
Yeah, the Golden Boy. That's it. That's what's called, the Golden Boy.
But these could be misleading too, because when I'm looking at Mouse, I'm thinking that they're going to literally, looking at this, I'm thinking that she's surrounded by, she was surrounded by fire. But I would think that she was just like, I don't know, like in much dangerous situation compared to what she was and how she got out of that. Same thing with Farron. I don't know. Like it makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like these could be a little misleading. We haven't got to Noah's yet, and we haven't got to obviously Tabby's and Imogen. So
I'm trying to see if there's. I'm trying to think. There's a connection. I'm looking at. I see the wood, the tree for wood, for strength, the fire. For I don't know what that would represent with her.
Renewal.
You know what? I'm not about to do a Jordan Peele announce of this poster. I'm not doing this.
James said, Jimmy, I think
I'll take the baby.
If they won't do that, but if they kill the fathers of the baby, like you go take your responsibility, girl. You go own your kid, and we go kill. I will take my hat off to you. If they kill both of them, Lil John and Big John, I will take.
There's a reason they're there. Because otherwise, why introduce us to them?
Agreed. And I was ready for them to be chopped up a long time. I thought
maybe one of them's a killer.
I don't know.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. I was ready for that whole When the Stranger Calls, which it seems like only Imogen's was the one that was important for that title, but I don't know. But I was really hoping for that to happen. Like they rush home and she gets the kills, but it's not executing like kill scenes and murders like I want to see, and I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump into our theories and final thoughts based off all the collective knowledge from these pictures, from the rumors that we've heard, from us doing our sleuthing, as Denise himself calls it. What do we think? What are our overall theories for not just Bloody Rose, but before we go there, I just want you guys to know that this is performing so well on HBO Max, and we still don't have a renewal. I'm not surprised at the writing of this season. I say that without.
Some shows have bad writing and they still get renewed. So like,
name them.
Scream. Name them.
My God.
Everybody in the comments, shoot us your theories and final thoughts about not just this episode, but this season overall. I think as a collective, we can say that season one, up until episode 4 for 4, season 1 was stronger.
Yeah.
The mystery.
The killer was a threat.
Yeah. The mystery behind the original sin was stronger. The mystery behind connective tissue with the parents was stronger. While they're being stalked, we understood that, and so great.
Last season, it was connected to the parents. This seems personal to them, like they did something. And Bobby now has me questioning this Kelly girl because she wasn't on that poster at all, but she's in the show a lot.
Or was she?
You saying she was the imaging girl?
No,
kneeling down.
One of the ones.
She's one of.
One of the ones, right? One of the ones in the mask.
Her and Greg will be the gag of the century.
Greg could be the Billy Loomis. He was sexually frustrated and he went crazy and decided to kill.
I haven't seen Greg, so I'm going to hope that he is just going to be like, okay, sorry guys. I hope he's going to be fine.
I don't know. It's too up in the air. We're halfway through. Not a lot of stuff has been introduced to us or explained or given. It could literally go anywhere at this point.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it can. Yeah. I don't really have... I said all my theories. Again, I'm just sticking to Kelly and Chip's mom. I don't know how that's going to come about, but that's what's going to happen. Johnny is definitely high up on my my sus list. Christian, I wouldn't be surprised, but if so, cool. But yeah, for me, I think it's definitely Kelly and Chip's mama.
Don't forget Nate, Farron's gay boyfriend. Something's up with him.
Yeah, well, we know something's up with him.
Aside from that, I'm just trying to figure out, why is he still here? Why are you still here? You so easily got over her lying to you for I don't know how long. Nate, the gay boyfriend.
Henry?
Oh.
Greg called him.
Henry brought her flowers. Henry said, babe, I'm sorry for all the shit that I said.
And that's too emotionally mature for a 15-year-old. I don't know who that is.
The world has changed since you were a teenager in the 1800s, Michael.
And he wasn't even doing half the stuff we were doing. Every time I tell him the stuff he did, you were doing that? You whore? You slut? Like, I'm like, damn.
I didn't. Wow. Oh, lies. You
didn't say it like that, but that's what you was pretty much.
That's what it's real judgy. And it's definitely
Farron's a little judgmental. Okay, I don't know what you want me to say.
I mean, she called
terrible.
It. And she did say she's gonna be her old ass, so she's ages too. So I just want to put that out. You're right, absolutely. Gen Z is absolutely different. And
I can't stand half of them.
No, especially when you think that Jenna Ortega is the lead of Scream, and she's not even. But that's another conversation. My final thoughts, theories, is that love interest will not transfer over to season 3 if we get one.
Mhm.
I think that Henry, I don't want him to be with Farron, and that's for other reasons, but I think he may really love him some Farron. I think that Greg is so optimistic and so happy to finally get some that he's just gonna relax. I think that Carrie/Karen, oh wow, touch Carrie Kelly. I think she really may have a triplet. I didn't think about that till tonight. I hope that all the liars don't make it out of this season, but I hope that Imogen survives. And I hope her and Billy rides up into the sunset.
Her and who?
Billy Loomis.
So you like the Billy Loomis character, but you hate Jen.
He waiting outside for her, even though Alexx did say like he would do that for a girl to get the draws. I get it. I get it. But I thought that was just so adorable. He stayed out there. Maybe I got Imogen for a reason. I was just like,
yeah.
I thought it was so adorable. He
came to the party. And I also like that he said, "Let me take this from you. It seemed like you're having a moment." Like he seemed,
he sees her, and who doesn't want to be seen?
Yes, Jen didn't do that. She was worried about stealing $20.
She was that, bro. Ooh. Rose, y'all all need to take a drink because I'm sick of it.
I don't have any more.
My tea's practically gone.
Let's see. Christian going out like a hero. Don't let that be a Billy Loomis or a Mickey.
I don't think he is.
So do we think he'll be like Chad in this, and he'll have some heroic moments in it? There's only 4 episodes, so I'm not trying to think what big moment is going to happen where they're all together. There's too many characters for me personally.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Jen is bland, correct. I'm sure she's cool as fuck in real life. She is per the tweets, but the writing for her character is a dog shit. Yeah. I won't go that far. I just don't like her breaking up not Ash, but Sean and Noah, because I really like Sean. Why would I? We haven't seen him all season, so.
And Noah is breaking them up.
Yeah.
Alexx.
Yeah.
You literally asked this boy to give you, well, you didn't ask, but you presented it in a way like, oh, I need $3,000 to get my friends out to post bail. Come on now.
You know what would be real nasty if they all were in a relationship, the 3 of them.
Ooh. Okay.
That would not.
Come on.
A poly situation?
Jen will get a tan so she don't stay.
I've already had to watch that on Gossip Girl. I don't need that on here.
What you think we're watching, sweetie?
And that's real life. And kids are into that nowadays.
Yeah.
Not at my home, they not.
Well, sweetie, everybody didn't grow up and
you ain't dating 5 people while you live.
Mike.
No.
Like TaMon said, you were a teenager how many years ago?
A century.
Right. What does that have to do with what
we're in a different time now?
Let's stop, please. Let's stop, please.
You got homework. You in summer school. Your ass has other things to be worried about than dating a bunch of people.
I would hate for you to be my parent, child.
Get in that damn room and study.
Don't bring up summer school because they ain't did no classes. They ain't did no
right. What? All we see them is like at work, lounging by. Like we not seen them in one class.
And I will be doing the same thing because guess what? When I come back next year, I'm gonna be in the next grade, regardless if I pass the summer school or not. Because the last time I was in school, the principal tried to kill me. Okay, so I'm not doing the summer school with y'all. I'm just here because pass me.
Sean's the bottom.
Yeah, Links is at 2 tops on the bottom. Who's getting pegged?
The boyfriend.
No, Sean is wearing them both out.
Okay. No.
I don't see that.
I see Jen. I see Jen. My God.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. She already was cheating on him with her while she was doing community service.
No,
so
she wasn't.
They were together, right? While she was doing community service.
Not when she was out doing service.
How long ago was that? Because they've been together how many years?
In jail stays in jail.
Oh,
we all know that.
Okay.
That's the rule. So when she got out, she's supposed to. Oh, can I say that? Oh, she's supposed to wash herself off of those things and commit back to Sean and get back to the normal program. Alexx, if you saw your girlfriend and she had a new lover interest that was a girl from her past, would you promote the idea of let's just be one happy group? See? See?
I'm here for it.
It worked.
I'm here for it. Yes.
Give Jen a tan. Maybe she can do at that pool that she owns.
A tan?
She needs a tan. Give Jen a tan, and the three of them could be so hot together. And then next season we can do bodies, because that's what this whole cast is giving me. Like,
oh god,
when they went to the house, when they went to Jen's father's house, that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah,
where is Jen's rich father? Where are the rest of the parents?
Where are they?
We know what horror looks like. The parents are off getting their lives, laughing at these kids on social media.
Yeah,
it's like
attitude.
Okay, so final thoughts, fellas. Mike, what is your final thoughts and predictions of this season so far?
I have no more predictions because I don't have enough information. Everything I've said is what I think could happen, but I don't know. Final thoughts. This is not, so far it's not as strong as the first season, but I like all the girls way more this season than I did the first time around. The first season, some of them could have died and I would have been fine. Ooh. But I like...
their names.
Emma Jean was getting on my nerves season 1. Now, also keep in mind, I'm a 30-something-year-old man, so teenagers would just get on my nerves in general. So that's the other thing. Mm-hmm. Just because they're rebellious by nature. And, oh, God, I do sound...
I told you centuries old. You're old. Let's stop. Right. Next, Bobby, what is your final thoughts? Sick of you, Lestat. What is your final thoughts? Ricky changed his name to Lestat. Ricky, Bobby.
Oh my God.
This season and predictions and etc.
I gave some earlier. Like what Mike said, I already gave my predictions on who I thought the killers are. Final thoughts. Same thing Mike said. So far I'm liking this season 1 better, but I do like the girls more this season. I just want, and it's gonna hurt for me to say this, but no, it's nothing crazy. It's just with Tabby, I need her to calm down with some of the horror references. Like every other word out her mouth is something like, oh my gosh, like, all right, girl, we know you the horror fan. Like, even I wouldn't do no shit like that. Even Mark, even we wouldn't do no shit like that. We know. But I think it's just more so fan service. So it's just like they want those characters to mention those things so we are aware of, oh, they're paying attention.
I feel like it makes sense to do that with the whatever his name, Christian or whatever, because we do that with like people we know, like horror movies. She's just doing it with everybody, and it don't even make
care.
sense.
They do not care. So it's just like,
calm down, $1 Million Baby. That's what we said.
But outside of that, like the writing, they need to step it up. They just need to step it up, period, with the season. So that's my final thoughts. And I just, yeah.
I hear you, and I think they should tighten up with the pen on this season. Like their writing needs to be tighter. And you know what? That's one thing I didn't like about Minnie is that she felt like just a clone of Randy. And I don't want Randy to become just this mouth that's spitting off random quotes from movies just for we to understand she's the movie buff. We know.
Right. I want her to apply her horror knowledge in a situation that she finds herself in. So hopefully that tests.
That's what I'm saying with Tabby. If Tabby, first of all, she's already above Mindy for me.
Oh, yes.
So if she, with this test, 100%, I'm sure she's going to kill it. So I just know Mindy Hood. I'm not going to say Mindy Hood. That's rude. But like, girl,
I get you. I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like, I want the Mindy stands to attack me. But
you know it happens.
It does.
Not to throw this.
Don't separate them. You know the Scream people are all bullies, so you don't need to separate them.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Alexx, please. Okay, but that phone call with Kirby and Scream 4, that was a good test.
That was
right?
good.
That was dope. Tabby, I need you to be above all of those notches.
Well, she didn't know fucking. Well, she knew Blackula, but she didn't fucking watch it. So what if they gave her a test on that?
She's failed, and then
if there's a test on Blackula, then I know it's Christian. Period. Did I know it's him?
But what if he's there with her? What if they put them like side by side?
We didn't consider the other movie theater guy from last season that's still there. That pushed Christian on. Yes.
Where is he?
Okay. Where are the adults? Where are the
adults here? That was so funny. Where are the adults? That's a good episode. Alexx, what is your favorite? I'm sorry. What is your final thought? What is your final thoughts and feelings about this season, this episode?
They definitely took a big risk of changing the killer this time around, and they did it off screen. You know, you had a whole court case going on, and then next thing you know, he's gone, and then we have this whole new person come through, and it's just like, okay, you know, if we're going to do a sequel, usually it's the same disguise, even if it may be a different person, it's usually the same disguise, and someone's using that. You know, even when Jason Voorhees was killed in part 5, someone still put the hockey mask on. So to have a completely different character, that's definitely a ballsy take for sure. And then, you know, the pacing is a bit sluggish, but I feel like these next couple episodes are going to probably step it up. I think it'd probably be a payoff, you know, just kind of, you know, walking us through a little bit. We're all expecting and wanting something big to happen, and they're just basically pacing us in a way, maybe. So I think the next couple episodes are going to step it up. But my theory, I said it earlier, it's basically, I think it's Miss Langenberry, Chip's mom. Once we had the whole thing with the cease and desist thing, and you know, Tabby went and, you know, vandalized his grave, I think that was when we started to see Bloody Rose pop up right after that. And I feel like since everyone already in town believed that Chip is innocent, when she probably went to visit his grave and saw that written on his grave, that's when she's like, only one person's responsible for this, and I had enough. And she is hiding in the disguise of Bloody Rose to basically exact her revenge. And that's my theory on that. I really think that all of this stuff started happening after the grave site situation, after she vandalized Chip's grave. I think that's when Bloody Rose started popping up and, you know, checking out everybody and doing all these things. So I think that's my particular theory, and I'm so serious about it. I really think it's Chip's mom. If we're doing sequels, that's the perfect sequel right there. Just having the mom exactly
for her boy.
Yeah, and he was basically not the main villain, but he was basically a villain. If he, you know, doing what he did, he's definitely a villain, and especially in their life. So, yeah, really, and it affects their relationships, you know, with guys that they're meeting. You know, Tabby and Christian, you know, and you know, Imogen and Billy Loomis, as we call them. Like they want to, you know, fall in love and, you know, put that whole thing behind them, but Chip has done so much damage that they can't really open up anymore. And so I think these guys are really actually there to help them get through that and find love this time around. But the whole thing of Bloody Rose is keeping them, you know, with their guard up. And I think that that's by design. I think that's definitely something that Chip's mom is definitely behind. She's going after, because the fan group is really tight. So if we already know that Imogen and Tabby were affected by Chip, then obviously she can go after those two. But then they all are so tight knit, then you might as well go after those two anyway. And since Mrs. Lincolnberry or whatever, Chip's mom, since she's an older woman, yeah, she probably will be the one, just like what Bobby said, would basically have her kind of weigh down, you know, her energy with the, you know, the little plan that she had, because she's an older woman. So like
so everybody's ageist. I understand.
So that's my theory. I really think it's Chip's mom.
Okay.
Things been quiet ever since that. Ever since the whole grave thing, like we haven't seen or heard anything else from her. So
exactly.
Billy was a good boy. You did a bang up job, Mrs. Loomis. TaMon, we need you to say that to Chip's mom if this is the case.
Ooh, I wouldn't be
she needs to go Sam's route. He was a limp dip.
He went hard.
Don't be having me drink.
Don't
have me drink on here.
She went hard on that one.
She did. She did. Step away from the
I couldn't get the words.
But if that's the case, quote, I know that much. Okay, so my final thoughts. I'm tired. I'm a little bored, and I want this to crank up immediately.
Yes.
I love Farron is owning this season. We love you, Farron. You know that. Farron for the new Slayer hashtag.
Yes.
But as it relates to this, I'm most excited for. I'm proud of their emotional performances, working through the trauma that they're dealing with, even though it's small and in between. Now that I am Imogen, I love her. I love her character so much, and I think she's doing great, showing that emotional side. And she was awesome in this episode. I look forward to see her in episode 6 and get ready for a gag. I don't even know what it is, but I just know whatever's going to be great. I hope that it's not one of the love interests, but I hear the parents. But somebody said a hired gun, like with Mickey in the comments. I see it. And what if Chip had another brother? What if Chip, and a big ploy from the original series was like adoptions and things, even this season, actually. What if they were
Christian?
Exactly. What if he had an adopted brother that was Chip? What if he had somebody who was in the, where are they at before they get adopted? Orphanage? Is that right?
Do they still have those? Are they still called orphanage?
Wherever they.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought orphanage was like an old.
You can't say that no more. You can't say.
Huh?
Like I think of literally like.
You can't say that word.
Oliver, please, sir. I want some more.
Well, wherever they keep those kids, right? They were there together. Not Juvie, like Jen and Noah, but the other place. Maybe I don't know. Hopefully it's one of the parents. I'm not going away from Karen in this whole church triplet idea. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure this makes sense. I do feel that they failed us with the connecting Bloody Rose and making us care about her as a villain. I agree with Alexx completely that we should have stuck with Archie, even if it was just a mess. But if he doesn't break out of this prison and crank this show up, I know something. Even if he kills Bloody Rose in the process, whatever. But the killer kills the other killer, like in Scream 6. That would be really dope to see in this show. It's making me wonder, how do you go forward in the season 3 with what's happening currently in this show? But those are my thoughts. Let's see. We have anything left in the comments that people are saying? His mama. I blame the strikes on Jimmy. That's a big conversation that we can talk about for real, because the strikes are, you've seen all these things are flopping left and right in the studios, and these are good movies. Mad Max, Abigail, all these things are flopping. We'll see how Beetlejuice does though, but it's due to those strikes for sure. Mm-hmm. Let's do a quick shout out. Jimmy, thank you so much. We can't wait to have you back on the show. Mike, it's always a pleasure as usual. Langston, thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Thank you everyone who came and tuned in and hung out with us today. For those on Twitter that we can't see your comments, thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tune in so you can get these notifications. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us again. My name is TaMon Kane, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and everywhere else, and streaming Dead by Daylight Twitch. And of course, you can hear me on Scream Kingz and Bobby.
I'm Bobby Torres with a Z, not an S, and you can find me on all the socials that you see on the screen right now. And if you're just listening, Bobby Torres with a Z, not an S. Bobby likes to spooky people under the scares with Michael. And here, and Alter Tapes. Yes, I'm on Alter.
This is Michael Anthony. You can find me everywhere below. People on the Skins podcast with Bobby above. We have a Patreon out now, which you can find the link underneath my little name or whatever. My social handles are there as well. I've been well behaved on them as of recently, so it's safe to follow me. And obviously you can find me here on Scream Kingz. Clearly being the voice of reason and the elder
Alexx,
of the group.
Your turn.
The elder,
Your
the
turn,
elder
Alexx.
of the group.
How do I do this? Hold on. I'm not going to do this myself. Hold on. Go ahead. Cut his mic off.
Not you really beauty be hoe.
Oh, cut your mic off.
All right. My name is Alexx Arson. I'm the host of Horror Flicks and Chill. You can find me on Instagram and on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Alexx, it's always a pleasure. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
We will see you all next week as we go over. Oh, I just closed it. Okay, chapter 15, title to be determined. Oh, wait, it's Friday the 13th. That's what it is.
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, I think it's Noah is next week. Noah's challenge is next week.
Oh, because she's in the woods. Why is she in the woods?
I hope she has a great chase scene, 10 times better than what we saw before. But that's it. Thanks again for coming and hanging out. And you guys have a great night and scream you later.
Good.